Everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have a really special interview we're going to do tonight on the Online Peer Mediation Platform. I am Dr. Morton. I am a coordinator for the Online Peer Mediation Platform, which is funded by the JAMS Foundation and administered by the National Association for Peer Program Professionals. And also run a countywide peer mediation program, and I've got some great students on tonight, and I am going to ask them to unmute themselves and also to introduce themselves. So we're going to start with Kourtney. So Kourtney, if you can just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you, and we want to hear about you.
Okay. Well, hi, my name is Courtney Hogan. I am a graduating senior at Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. And this was my first year with the peer mediation program, and I've got to say it's helped me a lot with my personal relationships and developing my conflict resolution skills and my active listening skills. And overall, this course has been a great asset to me.
Thank you, Kourtney. I appreciate that. And now we have Jada. So Jada, if you'll unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Jada Pinkston. I am a senior at Salem High School. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and it's been nothing but a pleasure. I've learned a lot. I've been using these skills in everyday life, and I know I'm going to continue to use them when I go to college.
Thank you, Jada. Okay, and now we have Lamar.
Hi, my name is Lamar Allen. I'm a graduating senior from Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. And this is my first year doing the peer facilitation course, and I got to say that I really did enjoy it. And I learned a lot, and it actually helped me know what I wanted to become, like an RA when I get to college. So, really
thank you, Lamar. And I've enjoyed having each one of you. Okay, and now we have Tamara. Tamara?
Hello, my name is Tamara. I am also a graduating senior from Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. This is also my first year doing peer facilitation, and it was really nice doing the mediations in class when we were getting our training, but having the ability to transfer those skills that we learned in class onto online to a wider platform, I feel has been really useful to me, and I feel like when the program grows, it'll be more useful to people all over the world.
I agree. Thank you, Tamara. And last but not least is Tay. Tay, unmute yourself, sweetie.
All right, my name is Tay, and I'm a junior at Magnet. And even though this is my first year taking the course, next year I will be joining the course with all of my other friends, and I can't wait for them to learn about the great communication skills that I've learned this year with organization.
Thank you, Tay. Okay, so each student brings some really wonderful skills and techniques, and again, I have enjoyed having each one of you, and Tay, I definitely look forward to working with you next year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 10 questions, and you just join in when you would like. And so my first question is, do you think that students will be comfortable using this forum?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that this is, in a way, it's kind of more confidential because, like, for me, if I've got something personal going on in my life that, say, I don't want my peers knowing about, it would be nice to have somebody who's, say, like, halfway across the country knowing about it because I know they won't tell anybody. So I think that'll be very useful to a lot of different people.
Excellent. So confidentiality has been one of the pluses of using the online forum.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to add something?
with that, she's saying that it would be really confidential. So I feel like a lot of people, if they were from different distances, long distances, they'd actually tell more. So we can actually, because, you know, a lot of people would be reserved in what they say to a peer facilitator. But if they know that there's no way of anybody knowing what they're talking about, they'll tell everything, and, you know, we'll be able to help even better than we probably could.
So it'll help us get the whole story, not just half the story. Awesome. And one more person. Anybody else want to add why else students would want to use this forum?
I think this forum is a great way to communicate, especially because when we go to college, we're going to be moving more towards the electronic side of things, and we're already getting experience from that using this platform. And also, yeah, you will be working with people that you probably have no idea who they are. So it'll be easier to be within the situation.
Exactly. So you're going to be using this forum in the future, so the more experience we get now, the better we will be, especially with our communication. Excellent. Okay, well, let's go to question number 2. How do you think students can benefit from using this platform? And so, Kourtney, Jada, can one of you maybe start this question?
In addition to what my other peers were saying about the comfortableness of doing this through a phone, laptop, online in general, this is going to ultimately help resolve issues quicker, I feel, because you don't have to go through the median of going through teachers or signing extensive paperwork or things that just take up a lot of time. I think this is pretty much straight to the point, and that's going to benefit the students by getting the issues resolved.
Wonderful. So with the regular mediations, we know it's a process and it can take 2 to 3 days, easy. But with this, once you agree, you can pop on and it can be done instantaneously. Excellent. Thank you, Jada. Kourtney, what do you think, sweetie? How do you see students benefiting from this?
Well, along with all of the confidentiality aspects of this program, I feel like it would just be easier to do it on this platform because, I mean, you don't necessarily have to wait for someone to be available in a classroom where you can just sit down and have a nice talk. It's more of, you know, when I get home, someone's going to make time for me and someone's going to put me first and help me solve my problems today rather than a week from now.
Understood. So convenience is something that's beneficial, and knowing you've got someone's full attention, they're really listening in the comfort of your own home. Excellent. Can we have one more person to respond to question number 2? How do you think students would benefit from using this platform?
Well, as a mediator, I think we could benefit just from working with different people. Because I know, like, at Magnet, we've got a graduating class of 63, and I know all of them. So I think just from an interpersonal standpoint, you learn how to interact with different types of people and learn how to work with different people, which is going to be beneficial because you're obviously going to have to work with people your whole life.
Exactly. So being able to communicate effectively, even with people you know or don't know, is going to be important, especially going forward. Excellent. Thank you, Tamara. All right, well, let's move on to question number 3. And Lamar, can we start with you on this one, if you don't mind? What were some limitations that you saw using the platform?
Limitations? It is more convenient to be able to use this platform because it's really just people making time to talk to each other. But at the same time, it can be a hassle trying to get everybody together. And it's easier to get people, it's easier to like have like everybody in a room. It's more like concrete and everything, but it's hard to get people online with Wi-Fi's down or a computer broke, you know, just technological issues.
Great point. Technology is something that we cannot control, and sometimes people don't show up or they don't show up on time, and so that can really damper our mediation. Thank you. Tay, what do you think? What were some limitations using this forum?
I think one of the major limitations was, the sharing screen option. Even though you can do that, most people don't know how to do that. So I think just learning how to be more comfortable with this platform will make it easier to share things with others.
Excellent. And would one other person like to share any limitations maybe you experienced? Jada, I know you've used this for 2 years, so I think you might can answer this.
Yes, I was definitely going to piggyback. Definitely agree with technological issues, but that was a really good point in terms of having to learn how to use this. It's not hard, but jumping straight in your first time, especially if you have an issue, you don't necessarily want to have to worry about learning a program as well. You're worried about that issue at hand. So I think that is a big deal. And it's not something that can't be fixed, but between Wi-Fi, phones dying, losing chargers, cracked screens, mics not working, it can be an inconvenience for sure.
Excellent. Yes, I totally agree. Thank you, Jada. I appreciate your answer. Okay, so let's go to question number 5, I believe. Do you see any concerns with privacy? I know a couple of you said that there was confidentiality using this forum, but do you think there could be some privacy issues that we as mediators need to be aware of? And how would we solve those things? Who would like to start? Okay, we got 2 hands at the same time, so we'll jump in. Jada, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. For me, just using it, I think, a little more frequently. One thing we addressed previously in the group I worked with was, yes, it's safe, it's safer, you're more comfortable in your own home, but there's no guarantee that you're the only person in the room.
Right.
Who's to say that this person didn't invite their best friend over to record it, put it on Snapchat, to listen, to whisper in their ear? It might not necessarily be a one-on-one, which is the only like breach in security, if you will.
Exactly. And again, those are those technologically unsure of issues that we have with any technology. Tay, you wanted to add something in addition.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird at the same time, even though it's helpful. Because like I'm sitting here right now and I have my phone right here, but you would just have to trust that people wouldn't do anything like that. But I'm not really sure of a way to ensure that people won't try to record or break the confidentiality.
Right.
You just have to trust their signature that you give them at the beginning.
So, and just like with any mediation, even if I do a physical mediation, I can't assume that the person's going to walk out the door and not tell everybody. I only can speak for myself as a mediator that I'm bound by confidentiality except for 3 things. And everybody knows what those 3 things are, right? Can we tell the audience what those 3 things are we cannot keep confidential? Tamara?
If someone threatens to hurt themselves, threatens to hurt someone else, or if they're being hurt, then you can't keep
Exactly. We cannot keep that confidential. Very good. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question then. I know you guys are high school students, but could you see younger students like middle school and maybe upper elementary students using this forum? Anybody want to add?
I think I could see it happening because one, I feel like middle schools and elementary schools, they have a lot more conflict that's like less deep, like a little more petty conflict. Maybe some things that a more mature middle schooler could help them with, and also maybe like a middle schooler could help an elementary schooler. I don't know what like the bounds are for that, but if that is possible, I feel like that could work too, because there definitely are mature people and immature people in every grade. So
yeah, and they're very comfortable using technology.
Yeah.
So definitely. Okay, thanks, Lamar. Anybody else would like to tell me? Yeah, Kourtney.
I feel like I could see younger students using this platform because it's really easy to use. It like there aren't many things that go on here that require like a lot of practice. It's more of once you get it, you got it. So I feel like that would be a great resource for them to utilize in things like this.
Right. And as we know, and our audience doesn't know this, but you guys know that there's always somebody behind the scenes kind of watching and controlling if there's a technology issue or if there's something that happens. We have adults and we also have college mediators that are watching what goes on. So definitely. Anybody else, one other person want to let me know what you think? Jada?
I actually kind of disagree.
Okay.
Dr. Morton, I work with pre-K kids at Honey Creek, and I'm not saying we were implying that it would be for pre-K kids, but I was using that example because during center time, as we call it at the elementary school, they use iPads. And I completely agree. They're very comfortable with them. They know how to download apps, like the whole thing. It's definitely a new, I guess, breed of kid that's coming up. We didn't grow up that way. But I do really believe in solving issues face-to-face and learning how to talk to people face-to-face. I think that's important at a young age. Now, I definitely agree more towards the middle school, high school, because that's when we get more busy. But in terms of elementary school, I wouldn't suggest it as much because I think it's important for them to kind of talk stuff out in person more so you know how to do that and they don't use it as a crutch later in life. I don't want them to have the impression or just feel safe behind a screen because I know it can be comforting, but this is not all the time going to happen.
A great point, Jada. I think that a lot of times we take for granted that people can communicate face-to-face, and that's a skill we're losing rapidly in our society. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right, we're going to move on to our next question, and this is actually for you as a mediator, okay? When would you be hesitant using this forum? Like, what would really say, I don't know if I would do this as a mediator? Anybody want to give me an example or tell me about that? Tamara?
I would say, like, if a lot of the issues that were going on were people saying things about somebody online. I know that we're not exactly supposed to get into cyberbullying all that much, but if the whole issue is, oh, so-and-so is always saying something about me online or posting something about me online, then I don't think this would be the best way to do that, because it, like I said, it is so easy, or like they said, because, you know, I've got my phone, my iPad's right there, I'm on my computer, I can record it really anywhere. So I wouldn't say that's the best time to do it.
I think that's a great point. If it's a situation that started online, do we want to continue that? Right. Thank you, Tamara. Who would like to add one? Tay?
I think using this forum would get really complicated whenever you get a situation that involves like a lot of people and a lot of winding throughout a situation. It would just be much easier to deal with that in person instead of expanding upon on Zoom, and then everybody has the chance to probably like record or do something sneaky.
I agree. Having too many people can be a problem online, definitely. Thank you, Tay. One other person, would you see another situation that you wouldn't feel comfortable handling online in this platform?
Honestly, like if the person doesn't want to do this online, like if they just don't like FaceTime and they'd rather do in person, then I think that's an automatic reason to do it in person.
Exactly, and not force them. I mean, one of the tenets of a mediator is that this is a voluntary, let's see if I can say it, voluntary process, and we don't want to force anyone to be online if they're uncomfortable with that. Okay, awesome. Well, let's move to our next question. And so this is our first year. We're really interested in getting feedback from you. What could we improve with this forum? What are some things, just for the first or second, third, Jada, 17th time you've used this forum, what would you like to see change or improve?
Sorry.
Jada?
To improve, to make better, I really genuinely first want to commend that this is pretty reliable. I do like it, but that's really a tough question. I'm genuinely thinking about the actual app itself.
And I think sometimes with not knowing, that's maybe a good thing. Like so far it's run pretty well and been pretty dependable and been very accessible. So probably as we evolve over time, we as students may come up, well, I want this or I want that, you know. So we might not have an answer right now. Anybody have something that you think might be helpful? Just any idea would work. And if not, that's okay. We can skip on to the next question. Tamara?
Oh, sorry. You can go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You got it.
Go ahead, Tamara. It's okay.
Okay. Well, if there is a way to like shut down all other windows, because I know like with certain testing apps, like you can't open anything else. So if this was like more like that, where you couldn't open anything else when you're in the app, that would be useful.
You know, and that is a suggestion that we were talking about, Tamara. A great suggestion. Shutting down all apps on your computer would be very helpful. Definitely. Jada, you wanted to add something?
The only thing that I think would be really, really cool and helpful to make this go by faster is reminders. Because that's kind of half of the battle there, not necessarily the system in itself, but it's the people getting on it. And sometimes fishing to go through email for the join meeting code, or forgetting that's at 7 o'clock. And you're like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, the meeting, I have to get on. And you're rushing and people are waiting. Maybe if Zoom created a reminder that had the code attached to it, so you can get on quicker, so the problem could be solved quicker. I think that would be really neat.
Excellent suggestion. Excellent. Okay, anybody else? Tay?
Yeah, every time I did the mediation, because I've done it twice now, and like when situations get out of hand and you have to speak to somebody separately on their own, I always thought it was a little weird, like how that worked, like how you would go into a separate Zoom chat with them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how that worked.
Okay, and so maybe more training at, just on the forum before you get on a mediation, that you yourself as a mediator have a little bit more hands-on training. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Many of you are graduating, for me, but congratulations. Would you like to, as a college student, continue using this forum and helping high school students if you could?
Yes.
Jada? Oh, okay.
Oh, Courtney
Let's
first.
let Courtney go, and then Jada will let you go. Courtney?
I would absolutely love to continue helping and being a part of this program when I go to college, just because I think it's really important that this program grows, because it's so beneficial to everyone to learn these skills and to be, adept in conflict resolution and helping other people actually, come to a resolution with their problems. So, I mean, if I can help in any way, I would love to.
Well, and I would love to have you, Courtney. You've been excellent. Jada?
Definitely piggyback off of what, and I apologize, Courtney, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yes, like, I do believe in the phrase, I guess, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I feel like these are definitely skills that if you don't continue to practice, you will lose yourself. So this is not just helping the community, the people you're around, to be positive, to continue to solve issues, but it's helping you solve issues that you encounter on a day-to-day basis and how to handle them properly. So I would definitely love to continue working and sharpening my skills as I help other people learn the skills I learned.
And again, I would love to have you, Jada, so please know it's an open invitation. Anybody else? Tamara?
I would also like to use this in college as well and continue to help other people get better. But like Jada said,
it's 7:30.
My computer tells me what time it is. But also hone my own skills a little better. So yes, I would like to use this more.
Well, I would love to have you. And just to tell the audience, you're going to be in England, so that would be such a treat to have you. All right. Definitely. Yeah, anyone else before we move to our last and final question? Okay.
I can't wait to graduate, next year. But when I do go to college, it'll be great. Because I know I'm going to have another chance to do this next year. But I'll let one of these years.
Yeah, and you'll be our veteran, so that is awesome. Yes. All right, so we'll move on to our last and final question, and that is, would you recommend this forum to other schools, other school districts, and why? Tay?
This forum is one of the super easiest ones I've ever used, because people use Ubu and other things like that for group business things, but I think this one was the easiest and most straightforward. So yeah, I would recommend it.
So the ease of it, you would recommend?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Who else? Actually, I'd love to have maybe everybody sound off, just if you would recommend it, and just give me a reason why. Courtney?
I definitely would recommend this because I've used different platforms for video chat before, and this is the most consistently great video chat platform because the lag isn't really, it's not bad at all, and you don't have that, oh, well, we're reconnecting because someone's Wi-Fi is going weird. So I think that this is the best platform that you could use out of the ones that are really popular now. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
For me, I definitely think it's a great idea to branch out, definitely to other counties. And it popped in my mind to also include alternative schools in this as well. Because, taking, kids out of school due to disciplinary misconduct, that would give them a chance to resolve issues without necessarily being directly in an environment that they could be a disturbance. But they're still learning how to work out these issues. So that would be another thing, to just branch out in every aspect and area. So different counties, different types of schools, I think would really, really benefit overall.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Jada. Great suggestion. Tamara?
Yeah, I would also recommend this platform primarily because you can do so many different things with it. You can share your screen. I know you can do that on Skype and stuff, but it's a little bit harder to do. And with the host and all the things you can do with that when you're hosting the meeting, as far as muting other participants and having a one-on-one with other people, there's just a lot of things that you can do that make it really easy to conduct a mediation and have it go smoothly. So I think that's good.
Excellent. Thank you, Tamara. Ramar, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is really cool. and it's way better than any kind of FaceTime or Uber or Skype. And it's free, and Skype makes you pay for minutes sometimes. And, it just gets really complicated with Skype. But this is really straightforward, splitting screens, having multiple people on the screen, everything. I love it. It's really good.
Right. And just a general comment, and maybe y'all could add in a comment as well. A lot of times adults, myself, are a little afraid of online for students, and especially mediation. And we don't want them to be afraid. So what would you suggest to a school that's really looking at this, or adults that are looking at this for the first time? How could you share some words of wisdom with them as a teenager about using online mediation?
I've had the opportunity to speak on this previously, and for me, one thing that we also spoke about today was usually when you have an official mediation, you have a college mentor or a teacher on standby or a tech buddy to kind of guide you through any bumps in the road that you have. Because I do understand the aspect when you're saying, oh, it could be scary. It might be scary, the safety of our children. The online is such a vague thing. But this is very controlled. You cannot get into a meeting without having the code. No one would have the code. It's strictly for the people it's meant to be for. So those would be my words of wisdom.
Okay. Thank you, Jada. Anybody else want to add to what Jada said? Tamara?
This isn't exactly, I don't know how to say this. Whether adults like it or not, kids are moving towards technology. So the bottom line is, if you really care about your students and you really want them to resolve conflict, sometimes it's best to do so in a medium that they are more comfortable in, whether or not you are comfortable with it or not. So I'd say make it about the kids.
Right. Thank you, Tamara. I agree with you. Anyone else before we end for this evening? All right. Oh, go ahead, Kourtney.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
I feel like if adults come on and they are a little bit uncomfortable with the platform, it would only be because it's something new, and some adults tend to be afraid of things that are new. But just by going through and having maybe like their own sessions with their teacher friends, or anyone that they feel comfortable with, really, and actually experiencing how helpful this can be with communicating with someone else, I think that would kind of alleviate a lot of the misconceptions that are there. So actually going through and seeing like, oh, this is more useful than I thought it would be, and finding that out for themselves, that would probably help out a lot too.
Right, and adults can observe. That is a possibility. A parent could observe, or a administrator or a teacher with the student's permissions, of course. So, yeah, thank you, Kourtney. All right, well, I so appreciate each one of you being on our interview tonight. And I, again, have enjoyed working with each one of you. And Tay, I definitely look forward to working with you next year. And those of you that would like to come back and serve as a college mentor, would love to have you. And so this concludes our interview for tonight. And if you guys just want to say any closing remarks before we leave for tonight, please, I'm going to leave the floor open for you to just with a leaving comment.
I'm just appreciative of the program. Thank you, Dr. Morton, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Jada.
Thank you, Dr. Morton, for teaching us something new, especially with the online platform, and just teaching us, like, this is like a new class for Magnet. Nobody's ever taken this before, and I'm excited to do it again.
Thank you, Tay.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having like the courage to be able to bring a new program into an entire school district. That's really cool. And I love that this is thriving, and I know a lot of people are interested in doing this next year. And I hope that you get a whole bunch of new students next year who are like as good as you were.
That's a tall order. Thank you, Lamar.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Morton, for giving me this opportunity, giving us this opportunity, because conflict that happens in schools, regardless of grade. It's a real thing, and it helps to know that there are people out there that are really avid about helping push through that and helping other people get through their conflicts. So thank you for caring about everything.
Oh, thank you, Kourtney.
As
Last but not least, Tamara.
as a mediator, this program has helped me improve my interpersonal skills vastly, and it helps me, with the active listening training and the mediation training. All this training that we've done has helped me become a better person, and I think a better friend. And just like the others, I'm very happy that more people will have the opportunity to continue on this program and improve their skills as well.
Thank you, Tamara. That's a wonderful compliment. Well, again, thank you so much for being on, and I look forward to many, many, many more years of doing this.